Hello, my name is Mark Helm, and I'm the author of Creating Wealth Through Self-Storage, and I'm the creator of the Self-Storage Quick Start Academy. And I support people who are getting in the self-storage business, and I support smaller investors who want to grow their self-storage business, strategically do so in a way that creates true wealth and a fulfilling career. And yes, you can get in the self-storage business even today in a seller's market, where I looked at a project last night that had a 4.65 cap rate in the marketing package. Probably won't buy that one, but you can get in the business, but you've got to know what you're doing. You've got to be able to see value-added opportunity, and you've got to be able to know how much value you can add. That's what this series of episodes is all about. If you haven't watched episodes 103 and 104, stop now, do so you can get a background and a context for what we're going to cover today. So far, what we've learned about is how to figure out the income of every type of self-storage project that's out there. So the type of self-storage projects I'm talking about are existing self-storage, expansions, where you buy existing and expand, conversions, where you buy an existing building and convert it to self-storage, and new construction from ground up. Now, we've talked about how to generate the income on all those types of properties. But on properties where you're expanding, you're converting, or you're building up, that new income just doesn't come in all at once. It comes in slowly as you lease it up. And what's critical is, especially if this is one of your first transactions, is for you to be able to gauge how fast that income is going to be coming in, and when your break-even point is, and how much negative cash flow, if any, you're going to need. That's why I love expansions so much. On expansions, we usually are breaking even from the day one most of the time. Now, I might not be getting the returns I want, but I'm having very little, if any, negative cash flow while I'm expanding and adding my new self-storage spaces. I mean, I like that, particularly if this is your first self-storage facility. I highly invite you to pay close attention to the last couple of episodes so you can figure out how to spot and go for the expansions. But as we're calculating how that income comes in, well, first of all, how do you do it? Well, you got to guess. Early on at this stage, you've got to just guess at what you think the absorption is going to be. Ultimately, your feasibility report is going to tell you what the absorption is going to be. But for right now, I usually start with, depending on the market I'm in, depending on whether it's a huge, tier 1 Atlanta, Houston market, I'll add more. If it's a very small rural market, I might go 1,000 square feet, but I usually start around 1,200 square feet net absorption a month, up to maybe 1,500 square feet net absorption a month. Now remember, I know I'm probably going to change this once I get my feasibility report back. The feasibility reports generally will give you a range, and my suggestion is go from the middle to the lower end of whatever range the feasibility report may give you on absorption. But for now, I've had as low as, I usually use 1,200 square feet net absorption a month. So in other words, each month the net rented square footage goes up 1,200 square feet. And whatever my blended rate between climate control and non-climate control on the per square foot basis, and last week we showed you how to calculate that, whatever the per square foot income is, blending the two, climate control percentage of new units and non-climate control, I multiply that times the square footage the new square footage each month as it goes up 1,200 square feet, and that gives me my monthly income. If it's an expansion, I add that monthly income to the existing income coming from the existing units. If it's new construction, that's how my income comes in. Let me show you a couple of examples, one from Storage World Analyzer, one from an Excel spreadsheet. It's not that complicated. Now, No, you're probably going to adjust it somewhat, but the majority of times I've been dead on or very, very close. I may adjust it. Usually I'm adjusting it upward, but that's how you calculate the new income coming in. In the old days, back in the 90s, when I was working as a real estate agent helping a REIT find self-storage, they used a 5% per month number. So in other words, whatever the square footage was that they're bringing on, they would assume each month that 5% of that new square footage was going to go into service. I kind of like the net square feet absorbed per month method better. At the end of the day, what's really happening is units are getting leased. You could also do it in units, but I like square footage the best. I find it helps me generate the most accurate cash flow number because units can change. Square footage is the same. Now, what I want you to realize is what you now know. You know how to generate the gross potential income. You know how to apply a stabilized occupancy factor to get net effective income. You know how to calculate new income coming in on expansions and new construction and conversions. I mean, get present to how much you really know right now. After you do a few of these, you'll begin to really trust your numbers. Now you're almost done. There's usually opportunity for some other income that comes in, such as truck rentals, retail sales, tenant insurance. There's other possibilities for generating income, billboard rent, leasing some of your space to a billboard, for example. But look at your business strategy and have your business strategy inform you what other types of income you're going to have. So for example, if your business strategy is very small units with no manager and the office is closed most of the time with a kiosk, don't put a lot of money in for retail. Don't put money in for truck rental. If you have a big 50,000 square foot or more and you've got a full-time or more manager in there, you have somebody to sell insurance. You have someone to sell retail. Put in the ancillary income streams based on what your business strategy is. That's how you generate the income on all the different types of self-storage projects out there. And that's why it's critical in today's market when the prices are very high on existing self-storage that you be able to spot the facilities that you can add additional value to and be able to calculate what that additional value is. Next week, we're going to work on the construction numbers, which are a big piece of the value add analysis, and we're going to start the conversation on financing and operating expenses. Ultimately, what you're looking for is the return you're going to get and how that return plays into your business strategy so you know exactly what you can pay for a facility and how to know what you can offer for it. So, can you see why I like expansion so much, particularly for new people getting in the business? You've got income coming in from day one. Yes, we're paying more than we want to for that income stream. But by the time you add the additional value with the new units and the other income streams and the better management procedures, by the time you put both those together, you've got a solid self-storage transaction. But you've got to trust your numbers. You've got to be able to know how to calculate the future income, and now you do. So thank you very much for being here. My name's Mark Helm. If you're watching this before April 9th, 2017, I invite you to consider going to the Inside Self-Storage Convention. I'll be there. I'll have a booth. I'll be demonstrating and introducing the version 2 of the Storage World Analyzer, a much improved version of the self-storage analysis software that we sell. I'll be running a class in the Inside self-storage called How to Buy Self-Storage in Today's Crazy Market. And if you see me there, come up, introduce yourself. I look forward to meeting you and getting to know you. And whatever you're thinking, however scary it occurs, if you want to get in the self-storage business, now's the time. It's got a great future to it, and the sooner you get in, the more wealth you'll create. My name's Mark Helm. Thank you very much. Talk to you next week.